Alright, I'm over Mike's, and we got the heater on, so it's going to be a little loud. Plus we got a generator outside. There's Mike. He's heating the shop up, but there's the piece. We're going to cut that down.
And see, it's all nice and frosty from last night.
Yeah, it's got its own frost on it. So I'll try and speak loud enough for you, but we'll see. We'll do the best we can.
That's right.
Alright. We're just truing it up now so we can take some good measurements. And then we just got to face it off and cut it, right, Mike?
Yeah, face this end off, we'll cut it in the bandsaw, and then put it back in the lathe and face the other end off, so we know everything's square. And then we can move on to laying everything out before we go in the milling machine. Sorry, I'm going to put it in power feed. Rough measurements here. Start marking out bolt hole locations and valve guide locations. This outer circle is the mounting bolt, the head bolt circle on the block. This first inner circle is the combustion chamber that's going to be milled out, and then the valve guides are going to be on these centers right here. So that's what we're looking at.
Right. Let's go see how Mike's doing. He's taking his jacket off. That means he's getting serious.
Yeah, it's actually getting decent in here. So we're in the center now, and the first thing I'm going to do is mill out the combustion chamber. That was the whole, well, that and the bolt circle for the actual cylinder head bolts was the main reason why I wanted to use the rotary table here. So
yeah, that's right. Let me back up. Tell them exactly what that is, Mike, because a lot of guys won't know what that is. Machinists will know.
Yeah, it's known as a rotary table. It's basically so you can do these circular cuts. So whatever workpiece you have in there, you can mount it. It's got T-slots in it, just like anything else. And then the table is indexed in degrees along the outside, and then there's a fine micrometer wheel over here. So yeah, it's basically so that you can make radiuses and things like that. You know, that you wouldn't be able to do just using your X and your Y feeds.
So what he has the X and Y feeds locked up now.
Right.
And he's only going to use that.
Exactly.
And he can do just about everything he needs to do.
Yeah. So now that I'm on center, I'll put a mill in here, and then I know exactly how far I need to go over to the edge here, and then once I'm at the edge, I'll lock the table again, and then just use the rotary table and mill out a donut essentially, and it'll leave a little island in the center that I can just use in the X to Y and remove that. Right. So yeah, then we're gonna go I think 300 thousandths deep for the combustion chamber. That's cool.
And you did compensate for the thickness of the gasket.
The gasket, yeah, yep.
A couple guys asked that. You know, just because we don't mention it in a video doesn't mean we don't consider it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Yeah, don't you worry.
All right, buddy.
All right.
I'm gonna take a walk around.
All right.
Yeah, Mike's got the heater on in here, but it's only going to get to a certain temperature because he has so much iron in here, so much machinery. It's like having big icebergs, you know. All this stuff keeps temperature. So the best we're going to do, there's this thermometer, is looks like 55, which is comfortable, you know. I mean, I got a sweatshirt on, but Mike, he's in short sleeves over there. So, all right, we'll get back to this when he does a little more cutting.
This will make 200 thousandths when I'm done with this cut. It's like a little carousel just going round and round. Yep.
videos are going to be, so if they get too long, I might just end them abruptly and add it as another part. Because at my house, sometimes I'll take it in and see how long it is and stop it when it gets close. But here, I don't have that.
Well, it's a lot like the radial build. You're now making a piece from scratch. It takes time.
Yeah.
It's not as involved as the radial, but it's still pretty involved.
Right.
That's the center. So that's 500, then 500 thousandths the other direction. So that divot's going to be, let's see, that's going to be the intake valve right there. Then I'll go 500 thousandths in this direction. That'll be our exhaust valve.
You know what Mike's doing now is he's just using his drawing. He's not even marking out where it's going to be put in there. They're the intake and exhaust valves.
Okay.
That's
right. 1 inch center to center in between those two divots.
Alright, Mike is drilling out the valve guides now, but he's drilling them out undersized so he can ream them out later.
Yeah, the valves for this engine, we're using the originals, and they are, what, 0.247, so 247 thousandths diameter, which is kind of a strange size. They're not a nice even. They're not a nice even 2.5 or whatever. So we're gonna drill them. I forget 15/64 or whatever, which is 0.23 something, and then I'm quite sure we can purchase an undersized ream. I believe you can get a 250 thousandths ream minus 2,000, so 248 thousandths ream. And if that's the case, that would be ideal because that would leave us a thousandth worth of clearance in the valve guide. So that's all we would really want. We don't want it to be too tight, so
that'd be perfect.
Yeah. So we're gonna do now, like I said, I'm drilling out the pilot or the guide, and then I'll go up to a much larger drill for the actual port, which I forget what size we had decided on. So we'll come back when we do that. Then that'll pretty much finish out. Well, no, then we'll still have to, once we do that, we'll have to follow up with the actual seat cutter.
Right.
While we're in this position, and we can scroll 1 inch over and do the exact same operation over here. So, and then we'll be good.
Mike purchased a special cutter. Let me see where it's at. Oh, I've seen it somewhere. There it is over here. We're going to cut the valves with this here, a special carbide cutter. We can't get a regular valve cutter in there, so we're going to use this. Looks like Mike is boring out the exhaust.
Yeah, this is going to be the actual port in the head behind the valve.
Right.
So we're just drilling nice and slow. This
Mike finished up the board there for the exhaust,
Right.
and now you got that cutter in there, right? That 45 cutter.
Yeah, that's a carbide, a solid carbide cutter with a 45-degree angle on it. So,
A lot of guys are going to ask me why you just didn't use a regular valve cutter, and let me get over there and show them.
well, yeah.
You just don't. There's no clearance at all. He's just barely going to get that in there.
I know it does drop down, but I could probably drop a thousandth feeler gauge in there.
Yeah.
But I just happened to get lucky on eBay and find this cutter. It's a 1-inch diameter head, which is, you know, it just works out because, you know, it's a 2-inch diameter hole,
Right.
and the valves are 1 inch offset from center, so it's a half 500 thousandths this way, 500 thousandths this way. So really, it's two of these widths,
Right.
1 inch, and it just so happens to fit. So,
If you had to, probably could have ground off a.
or
bit.
I could go a little bit larger in the hole.
Right.
And I think I did, as a matter of fact. I went maybe 2 thousandths over 2 inch, so it's like
Okay.
2 inches and 4 thousandths.
Right.
So it's enough that there's a little bit of clearance. So as far as making the seat, I'm kind of just gonna have to, you know, wing that. I mean, I want the seat width to be, you know, about what the width of the valve is, maybe a bit smaller.
Right.
So let me get a valve so I can show you real quick. So here's the intake valve. You can see the width of the seat there, where the face, you can actually, it's really nice here, you can see where it was actually wearing. So, you know, the point of contact is only this surface here. So I think I'm going to make that about the same. You know, I'll take some measurements to make sure that I don't make the seat so deep that the valve sits recessed. You know,
Right.
You want it to sit proud of the steel. You know, you can see that little surface there, maybe about 25 thousandths right there, where it actually protrudes from the head. So I don't know. I'm just going to be taking measurements, cut a little bit more, take a measurement, cut a little bit more.
That's where all the suggestions from the comments really don't know what's involved, so they couldn't even suggest anything.
Well, you know, there's a million ways to do it. Maybe there's a better method out here than this, but I don't have access to that method, so
Right.
this is how we're doing it.
And the cutter we have is made for a flat head, because you got plenty of room on the outside. So
Yeah.
all right, I think it's gonna work. Looks like it's gonna work.
All right.
All right, keep going, buddy.
All right, good plan. Or the face on the valve, you can see just a little touch.
Yeah.
Cut it. I don't know. What is that? Maybe a little bit less than 1/8 of an inch, maybe,
Yeah.
of actual
Brush
surface
some of that
area.
away. Got some shavings in the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't really can't get my finger in there, but you know.
Let's see if we
See,
focus it.
I can lower the table a little bit.
No, all right. There we go. Actually, here's where the light may help,
Yeah,
just by looking at the reflection. Yeah, to me that looks great.
yeah. It actually looks fairly close to what the original is.
Right.
So let me just take the caliper and just gauge what kind of width we're looking at. 80 thousandths or so of actual sealing area.
Right.
You know, where the entire valve width, you know, the face is about 146, 145 thousandths, maybe a little bit less. But you can see the actual business end, the spacer that was actually doing work was right there. That about 60. I said 80 the first time, right? Let's see what 80 looks like. 80 is actually a bit much, I think. .65 or so might be where it's at. 65, 70 thousandths width on that 45-degree angle. So let me drop the table down so I can get the caliper in there and just see where I'm at.
Okay.
So I'm at 60. I was at 65 thousandths. That's about what we decided was the width of that, or the face of that valve seat. So right now I'm about, I don't know, maybe 40 thousandths. So a little bit deeper. And I'll come back and check it again. And yeah. Bit of pressure in that carbide really cuts into that steel.
Check it out. Let's see what it looks like.
And I could probably go a little bit more, but I think I'm going to stop right there and lap it in the rest of the way. Because remember, I am going to cut these valves on my machine over there when we're all done. So we're going to have, you know, a perfect surface here and a perfect surface there. We'll lap them together and we'll see how it goes.
All right. Yeah, I'm pleased with that.
Yeah, it looks nice.
That's a brilliant idea to cut
So
it.
that's yeah, that's our that's going to be our exhaust valve. And so now I can move the table and do the exact same process over there for the intake valve.
Yeah, it's going pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Price, I'd still be servicing this if I was in my little baby mill, my lathe. Good work, buddy.
All right.
Looks like we maxed out at 61 over here, so that's pretty comfortable. Like I said, I'm in a sweatshirt. Mike is in short sleeves, so not bad. Considering all this, like I say, you got all this iron in here, man. That just holds the cold. The little fan, it's only at 65, I think, and did a good job. He's cutting a cord over here now for the intake.
Yep.
That's pretty much the same as what he just did, so we're not going to waste our film on that. Mike's cutting, he's countersinking the intake now, so I'm going to have to leave in a couple of minutes. I'm not going to be able to be here to watch him cut the bowl holes and stuff like that, but that's pretty basic. He may not even do that tonight himself, so I don't know.
I think we'll call it quits after this.
Okay. So maybe give me a call if he, unless he comes here. He may want to do this at 10, 12 o'clock at night. If you do it then, don't give me a call.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm gonna close the video. What do you say, buddy? Enough of this?
Enough of this.
All right. See you guys later.